Good evening. This is Maestro Gratello with the Dawn of War 2 Retribution Elite Modcast. Today, we have a 3v3 on Meridian High City. Our first player is Deuce Bigalow, the Space Marine Gigolo, playing as the Force Commander. This is a tanky melee hero. He can tank damage, deal damage, disrupt things with Battlecry, and punch vehicles. His first teammate is Floid, playing as the Hive Tyrant. Whoops. The Hive Tyrant is another tanky melee hero. This one big, unshakable, unsuppressible, and he can charge ahead with certain war gears. He's always had an artillery war gear. He can also become invulnerable. Next up, we have Dark Riku, a Dawn of War 2 mainstay, and actually back to his main. This is playing as the Apothecary, a healing commander. We can see him giving his heal aura to those scouts right there, as well as the tax. He can also use an active heal to instantly restore the health of a targeted squad. Next up, on the other team, we've got Noisy playing as the Inquisitor. This is a disabling and debuffing commander. She can also do some melee tanking with some different war gear upgrades. Next up, we have a pair of Lord Generals. The first one played by Caeltos, the lead designer of Elite Mod. The Lord General is the only hero who is a squad. He starts out with 2 Stormtrooper retinue members. We already see a Sergeant retinue member upgraded, and he has 2 others that he can get. He can also upgrade to have war gears that give him support abilities. And then finally, our last Lord General is Jungle Communications, which... what's with that name? It's a funny name. I actually like it. And he's getting catachans because, you know, Jungle Communications. Alright then, looks like the Imperial Guard right here for Noisy is chasing off Captain Dark Riku. We have one entire Imperial Guard team, which is... Imperial Guard is actually very, very strong in teams, especially when you have multiple Imperial Guards. We can expect I feel like almost definitely expect to see some bunkers laid down by these teams. Bunkers, Manticores, gotta be at least one Baneblade, probably several Lehman Russes too. But looks like Floid here actually exerting a lot of pressure, putting a lot of pressure on this Sentinel. I think this Sentinel just might go down. It's really, really close. But I think with the Lord General moving in, it's so close, so close. Unbelievably close how he kept that Sentinel alive. So I think a little bit lucky for Jungle Communications. I mean, he was starting to micro away, but I think he also got his Sentinel stuck in, like the way he has his guardsmen cluster around his Sentinel. You generally want to try not to do that. You want to leave a clear escape path for your Sentinel so that you don't do that, so that you don't block your own Sentinel with your guardsmen, because that can cause you to lose a Sentinel. He got really, really lucky there, and I think also what helped him was that he went to tie up the Termagants with the Lord General. Alright, we do see a double tack build from Dark Riku, and I think this is a pretty good choice. Considering he's up against 3 Imperial Guard players, he's playing as the Apothecary. Normally the double scout build isn't quite as effective against Imperial Guard as it is against all the other races, while double tax is actually pretty viable, particularly in teams, and particularly with the Apothecary, since he can really keep them healed up and make them rarely ever lose models using their active heal aura. What Dark Riku is doing right here, he's keeping the Apothecary here just for the healing aura. Alright, now the attacks move forward a bit, so now they're out of the healing aura, so... And I would say he should move up the Apothecary, but he also wants to keep the Apothecary in cover, and I feel like that was all pretty deliberate by Dark Riku. Anyway, Assault Marines jump in on Guardsmen, and Guardsmen actually can't do much about that. They don't have any melee counter support here either, since these must be Caeltos' forces. Yes, they are, and Caeltos only has triple Guardsmen. He does not have a Sentinel. He also does not have Catachan Devils, so he will actually be very, very vulnerable to Assault Marine, since he doesn't have... Caeltos does not have any actual melee counters. And I think what he's going to want to do instead, he's going to really want to try to split up his Guardsmen so that only one squad gets jumped at a time, and then he can try to focus down the Assault Marines with his other 2 squads of Guardsmen, and also with the Lord General, of course. Anyway, Assault Marines here actually just walking in. They saved their... That was actually very smart. Really saved their jump so that they could jump in on the heavy weapon team. Manages to get a heal off on the Assault Marines, but they're already still low on health. This is a bit risky for Dark Riku. He just might lose a model on these Assault Marines, especially with the Inquisitor going in here. One model is down. I think the Assault Marines need to go, or Riku's going to lose another model, and he does lose another model. I don't know if that was really worth it. Alright, he does manage to take out the multi-laser turret. One tack model, or one tack squad rather, in a bit of trouble. He's going hard for the heavy weapon team, but he's not going to get it. I think he just needs to retreat out of there before he takes any more losses, because he's lost 2 tack models in that engagement, 2 ASM models. Yeah, that was actually... Although he took out the multi-laser turret, that was a major, major loss for Dark Riku. 2 tack models, 2 ASM models. And yeah. Anyway, a huge generator bash going down. So while I was watching Riku against... Was it Noisy? Yes, against Noisy. Looks like Floid is doing some serious work on this side. Definitely courtesy of the Hive Tyrant. The Hive Tyrant is arguably the tankiest of the tanky melee heroes, at least early on. He's got the warp field, so it's basically an energy shield, an energy bubble, improved synapse to increase the health of Tyranids, so he's actually making the rest of his army tankier. And we do also see some support from Deuce Bigalow. Devastator Marines set up, which is going to make the approach for jungle communications rather difficult. Oh man, so blue team actually mauling the red team on this side. In fact, it seems like blue team all around right now is being really, really oppressive. So full farm down right here on this side. And we have, this is jungle communications pretty much getting doubled. I mean, Caeltos was trying to support him, but I think because they're attacking from 2 different sides, they're actually a little more divided. And Devastator Marines moving up. That Sentinel is definitely going down. Wow, this pressure is absolutely... It's absolute destruction. But here is the flank from Caeltos with the Chimera out on the field. Most of the blue team is actually not in Tier 2 yet, so this is actually very, very good. Yeah, put the guard... I like how he saw the Devastator Marine squad, put the Guardsmen back inside. But now the Devastator is actually shooting with Vengeance rounds and actually doing some light damage to the Chimera, so he actually backs off. I think it would have been more worth his while to go around the Devastator Marines. Devastator Marines are now retreating, so there really is nothing to counter the Chimera. So I think he needs to keep up the Chimera pressure. It's actually, yeah, I was going to, well, all of those Tyranid units retreated, but I was going to say take his squads outside of the Chimera, have them start repairing. Also because the Guardsmen outside of the Chimera are actually going to do more damage than inside the Chimera. Because the Chimera, of course, the Chimera has the turret multi-laser, and it also has the front-mounted heavy bolter, and those will shoot regardless of what you have inside the Chimera. It also has the 2 side-mounted multi-lasers, and those side-mounted multi-lasers will only fire when you have units inside. However, the damage of the Chimera plus Guardsmen outside is still more than the Guardsmen inside with the side-mounted multi-lasers. However, you do want the Guardsmen inside when you have the Chimera fighting something like a Devastator Marine squad, so that they won't get suppressed and won't take damage. Meanwhile, on this side, Assault Marines jumping in. Assault Marines need to be very, very careful about this Inquisitor counter initiation. One Assault Marine model did go down, and he seems to be consistently losing Assault Marine models on this side, because even though he's the Apothecary, and the Assault Marine Apothecary combo is something that's been powerful for years, we have a power melee, tanky melee hero. So that is definitely a pretty strong counter to something like Assault Marines. And it's time for the Apothecary to go down. This Apothecary actually should go down if the Inquisitor turns around. Actually, I'm not sure. I don't know if 1 hit will do it. It does not do it. 2 hits would have done it. But it's now Caeltos making a lane switch.
I think should prioritize taking out that brood nest. Actually, that's not as much of a priority as taking out the power, because there's nothing here. But he's going to take out the brood nest anyway. But yeah, take out the power as well, or not. I guess it's not such a priority. Oh no, because they're taking the power. They're taking the power for themselves, so they can have that power income. Assault Marines right here now getting mauled by Ogrins from Jungle Communications. Jungle Communications having lost his Sentinel. Wow, that was a very, very good creeping barrage. Oh god, and I'm noticing the damage. Oh, the damage the creeping barrage is doing to those Hormagaunts and Termagants, like with each shell. It's pretty powerful. Chimera is apparently taking damage from something. It could be a focused warp blast from the Zoanthrope, but that was all repaired back up. This Guardsman squad might want to get inside the Chimera or not. Instead, it's going to stand behind cover and hold the line. Meanwhile, I mean, the rest of Caeltos' Guardsman squads must also be inside the Chimera. Maybe, unless they're... Yeah, they are. But I guess he just wants to split them up, move to other places. Back over here, we do have... the power farm has now gone in favor of the Imperial Guard, but it looks like Riku's just going to pretty quickly take it back. He does have triple tacks, or rather 2 tacks and a Stern Guard. 1 with a flamer, 1 with a missile launcher, so he should be able to pretty quickly destroy generators. And of course, also since he has the faster capping trait with these tacks and Stern Guards, he can quickly get those generators back, if he desires. But yeah, this is a very, very tanky build. Double tacks and a Stern Guard. He doesn't have sergeants on the regular tacks, and I actually think it might be better that he keeps the sergeants off so that he can save population for another unit. With the population that he has right now, he has exactly enough population to get a Land Raider Redeemer, and I actually think a Land Raider Redeemer combined with the build that he has right now would be incredibly powerful. Anyway, a Zoanthrope takes a shot on the Guardsman, does a lot of damage. This Chimera is probably dead. Just got hit by a Melta Bomb. Wow. Really, really quickly. Yeah, just really caught out of position, got melted. Probably got hit by the focused warp blast as well, so I don't think it could move at all. Since 2 snares means it's pretty much demobilized. Heavy turret laid down from Jungle Communications. I like the heavy turret drop when you actually have it supported. That way the heavy turret will not be drawing most of the fire, and it can still do a massive amount of damage. Heavy turret is very powerful, but it actually seems to be misfiring. I'd like to, and there it actually just straight up missed, so I'd like to see it actually, alright, it kind of hits right there. I'd like to see it live up to how good I'm saying it is, which it's ultimately not at the moment. 2 heavy turrets, but now I think they're kind of getting breached. I don't know if there's enough support right here. We need Caeltos to move back out, try to save those heavy turrets. We have Assault Marines. Wow, Assault Marines are going to get murdered. Meanwhile, I think there's just barely enough support. Definitely this back heavy turret will keep things alive. We don't even see much AV here since heavy turrets have vehicle armor, you need AV to actually take it out. We saw a focused warp blast, and now the Stern Guards are shooting it down. Alright, I think this heavy turret is done. It's gonna, yeah, it's not a close call. Unless the Stern Guards are gonna switch ammo to a different type, but heavy turret goes down anyway. Oh, because there was a Hive Tyrant here with a Venom Cannon of all things. Venom Cannon, generally the least commonly used war gear, or the least commonly used weapon war gear for the Hive Tyrant, but I think it makes perfect sense against the Imperial Guard. Like, Imperial Guard is definitely one race that really has no shortage of ranged fire, so they're actually a very strong race for dealing with tanky melee heroes. So the Hive Tyrant could, if he's trying to go in for melee, he might just get focused down and kited a lot without achieving much, even with as much health as he has, being so tanky. So the Venom Cannon allows him to just be a ranged unit, do damage at range, and in particular, an AV unit. And Tyranids, Tyranids do struggle a little bit for AV in Tier 2, so it's nice for them to have that extra AV, I think, yes, particularly in this case. Alright, a little bit of a lull in the action. Meanwhile, scouts are bashing generators. This is not the best use of their time. I mean, probably if you really wanted to make use of these scouts, you should upgrade them, but you might want to be saving upgrades or resources for other things, rather, like a Land Raider, as I said, or even Terminators. Riku could, of course, just get whatever he wanted. He doesn't have to listen to my suggestions. Anyway, ooh, a Stern Guard model, I think, went down there. I just saw the plus 21 and a give. Anyway, here is the Inquisitor again, counter-initiating against the Assault Marines, and that's, yeah, at that point, Dark Riku just runs his Assault Marines out of there, draws the Inquisitor into the ranged fire of his triple tax. I'm just going to call it triple tax, so that makes it easier than saying double tax and a Stern Guard. Alright, ooh, old reliable right there. I thought that was going to be a shotgun blast, but meanwhile these Kadashan Devils potentially in trouble, especially if the Stern Guards start shooting at them. But instead, it looks like their attention is mostly on this tanking Inquisitor. And here is a Manticore Strike. I think she might have just been going for a Manticore Strike right there. Trying to get the sight for a Manticore Strike. Assault Marines, meanwhile, still being oppressive, pushing Noisy off the field. Noisy now with double Manticores. So there are those Manticores. Haven't seen any bunkers yet, but I'm sure we'll see some later on in this game. I'm hearing a cannon shot. We still have this heavy turret right here. Heavy turret has quite a bit of range, but really, unfortunately, it's just misfiring against terrain. So it's not really being as effective as it should be.
Support structure complete.
And here's a bunker. Alright, blue team getting the cap back, so it'll be a 2-to-1 in their favor, and they have the lead with 291 to 246.
An ally has taken a victory point.
Super units coming out onto the field. We've got a Doom of Melantai, the Super Zoanthrope. We've got a Land Raider, 2 Land Raider Redeemers building, a Lictor building, a Tier 3 Lictor, a Baneblade, and a Russ.
Beware, the enemy has breached our landing zone.
And I hear something else going down, another bunker. So they're really preparing for that late game Tier 3 Annihilation Fest, where things just get crazy, and I have a feeling we're going to see things get pretty crazy. Dark Riku's got an orbital bombardment waiting. Oh, no, he doesn't. He needs 6 more red, and then he will have an orbital bombardment. He will have orbital batteries ready to fire. Anyway, we have Ogrins right here. I have a feeling they are unsuppressible. Yes, we have the Carapace armor for jungle communications. That will make his units unsuppressible. And the Ogrins are here tearing up the Devastator Marines, but they retreat so they don't lose any models. I think if they had stayed in there, they would have lost models, but I think they would have also wiped out the Devastator Marine squad. Anyway, oh my god, here's the Baneblade. Baneblade goes for a Demolisher Cannon shot, wipes out the Scout squad with the Demolisher Cannon. And here comes the Russ as well, moving in with its heavy bolters, las cannon, as well as its battle cannon. Meanwhile, the Baneblade moving in, Demolisher Cannon still on cooldown, but probably gonna be off cooldown soon, or it already is off. Man, the cooldown on that is actually quite short for such a powerful ability. Meanwhile, on this side, Manticore a little exposed right here. Oh my, triple Manticores from Noisy. I mean, if you're gonna play against Imperial Guard, especially this many Imperial Guard players, you would expect multiple Manticores, but usually not just from one player. So they're really like almost playing different roles. Noisy is playing like the artillery company, and then I guess Caeltos, well, with the Baneblade would be the armor company, and Jungle Communications is like combined arms, because he's got Catachans, Ogrins, and a tank. Ooh, Excruciators hurt so much, and that's Excruciators into a Manticore Strike. That is so painful. And I mean, he does retreat to mitigate most of the damage. I think he's retreating to his Land Raider. Yes, he is. And I mean, normally that kind of full retreat would not be a good idea, but the Land Raider is so close by. Dark Riku actually has called it 3 Manticores. It's actually going to be 4 Manticores. Oh my god. So 1-to-1, Tier 3 Lictor here has been upgraded so that it won't even drain energy when it is infiltrated. Meanwhile, a IED has been detected and disarmed. What is this Lictor going to do? Has to be careful if the Baneblade is going to brush up against it or not. What is this Lictor going to do? Well, I mean, the Lictor right now is getting sight, which is really smart. Lictor moving back, though. Does not want to get detected. We have some backcapping Stern Guards. Oh no, unfortunately, this is Deuce Bigalow. Yeah, oh no, he's going to lose the Stern Guards. It's going to be really, really close. I think they'll get out of there alive, but that was not well played by him. I think he really just wanted to try to send them over, try to go for a back cap, but I don't think he was like paying close enough attention while he was walking there. Alright, Dark Riku is not happy about something. My guess is just that he's getting hit by Manticore Strikes, and he's also wondering how to approach this Imperial Guard wall. Because we have a Russ and a Baneblade Imperial Guard with the strongest armor in the game. They have the strongest super unit tank in the Baneblade, as well as the Lehman Russ, which is the strongest of the regular tanks. Anyway, Melta goes down on the Lehman Russ, but Manticore Strikes are going in all over the blue team, and they're just trying to tank it out. Unfortunately, you know, the Land Raider purchase is actually a little bit problematic against all these Manticores, because Manticores are incredibly powerful against Land Raiders. Manticores are actually one of the hardest counters to Land Raiders, if not the hardest counter. I would probably say the hardest counter outside of an Eldritch, and that might even be debatable. They might even be a harder counter to Land Raiders than an Eldritch. Since it's just going to do a lot of damage to the Land Raider, as well as really, really destroy all of the units that are retreating to the Land Raider, since they won't have anywhere else to retreat to. Anyway, this is a Venom Cannon card effects, shoots a Bioplasma on the Lord General to stop it from capping. Meanwhile, they're backing off right here, I think. Oh, retreat, getting away from him, Manticore Strike. Will this Lictor get hit? Wow, Lictor just took a huge amount of damage. And we also have, let's see, 2 heavy turrets. Where is this? Oh, this Force Commander is hunting Manticores. Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting Manticores. Here's another call-in, another heavy turret. This is getting ridiculous from the Imperial Guard team. Imperial Guard definitely showing off a lot of the powerful stuff. Oh my god, this Force Commander really is hunting Manticores. Alright, he's gonna go... Oh, he just retreats out of there. I mean, at most he would have gotten 1 Manticore, and he definitely would have died. He might die anyway. Yeah, everything's gonna shoot at him. The Force Commander goes down. Oh god. Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, good luck with that. They're really gonna have to like commit something, and I mean the Manticores are so well protected right now. Like this garrison, this is like a garrison. This garrison of guard right here with the Catachan Devils, the heavy weapon team in the bunker, and the guardsmen is such good protection. Again, for this rear line of Manticores. We have an Imperial Guard garrison. Anyway, the approach from Riku goes... He just abandons it before it goes completely awry. We have 3 or 4 flares going down from Manticores, and it really seems like they're really just saving the Manticore Strikes for Dark Riku. And I think that's a very good strategy. because it not only gets Dark Riku to move away, but I think it will really crush Dark Riku's morale. And if they crush Dark Riku's morale, I think that will go a long way to securing this game in favor of the Imperial Guard. Alright, so Red Team now looking really, really strong and really showing what is very powerful about the Guard. Alright, we have some Terminators right here with the Cyclone Missile Launcher. My guess is that they might be trying to go for like a long-range... Well, no. I was going to say a long-range missile barrage to get to hunt Manticores, which would actually be a very good idea. Instead, we saw a short-range missile barrage to take out a bunker. I mean, that works, but a bunker is really inexpensive, and... I mean, if he could just get sight on this particular Manticore, I think if he shot his the Cyclone missile on the missiles at that, I think he would have taken it out. I think Cyclone missile launcher. I don't know if it would have enough damage, or if all the missiles could be concentrated enough to take out a heavy turret. Another Manticore strike going in. Lictor getting the decap. Smart play, getting the decap to at least stall out the VPs with an infiltrated Lictor of all things. And the Lictor's actually staying right there. Oh, here's the rocket run. Oh my god. Rocket run takes the Lictor off. It looks like Floyd still has much of an army, even though it looked like he was getting hit most there by that rocket run. But the red team, meanwhile, they get a decap on the blue team's natural. However, Caeltos loses the guardsman squad for that. Alright, so red team now with the double cap. Like we had maybe attempted Lictor, maybe an attempt by the Lictor to hunt Manticores, but we had the Catachan Devils right here, and this is such a good back cap counter. Catachan Devils, since they're infiltrated themselves, and they are a detector, that's such a good back cap counter, even against something like a Lictor. Alright, the Imperial Guard defense is just so strong. Assault Marines are jumping into fights that they are not winning. Assault Marines are probably going to get wiped right now. These are Assault Marines for Dark Riku, and they do in fact get wiped. What are they going to do about this? Well, Riku has enough for an orbital. We better start seeing some orbitals, I think. Orbital for Dark Riku. Unfortunately, not much in terms of nukes for the other blue team players, but I think nukes is like what they're going to need. They're just really struggling. VP's now evened out pretty much at 203 to 204. It would be really, really nice if they had... Wow, Riku lost so much of his stuff already. Although he does still have a lot of resources in the back. So he could put out at least one new unit, if not two. Guardsmen getting whittled down, so they're going to have to retreat. But a las cannon is now taking shots from the Lehman Russ, but it's like at maximum range, so the Lehman Russ will be able to back out. Assault Marines jump in for Deuce Bigalow. Deuce Bigalow now with quite an army. He's got his Terminators. I think his Terminators are one of the best chances for taking out those Manticores. So I think he needs to protect his Terminators. Instead, he's having the Terminators go for the VP. And I mean, the Terminators are also one of the best chances for it. Oh man, the lead Terminator model got sniped. So now he's not even capping, and his Terminators are just getting destroyed. So Tier 3 Lictor takes over the cap. Meanwhile, Terminator's down to... Oh, they've got two of their models still. And did the Lictor go down? No, Lictor's still alive, but he's in retreat.
Understood.
And retreats to the Land Raider, but man, it's just not looking good for this blue team. And we have triple IEDs right here. I really like the way the red team is playing to protect the Manticores, basically. Like, we've got 4 Manticores. But I'm pretty sure I think a single Cyclone missile launcher barrage could take out a pair of Manticores if they are bunched up like this. The question is, how can he line up the shot? How can he get close enough? Because this Cyclone missile launcher Terminators, again, really like one of the best chances that the red team has. What else could they do to give themselves a good chance? I mean, if we think about it, what else could they do? Dark Riku could get his own Terminators. He could make a push for down here and then do, well, I was going to say then do a call-in, then call in the Terminators right there, but if he calls them in, they won't have the Cyclone missile launcher. Or if he waits to call them in, rather. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to get close to that. We have some suppression. It looks like the Lord General, yeah, I was going to say, like, because before he was using the Carapace armor so that his squads wouldn't get suppressed, and there he must have switched warriors, and he did switch it to the Flak Jacket, just to reduce the damage that his units take. So Lictor right here, Tier 3 Lictor detecting the IED, and they're trying to destroy the IED, but it's just hard to shoot at it because it's so small that they keep missing. This Carnifex has no accuracy. Here we go with a Force Commander You know, the Force Commander has a teleporter pack. So if anything, well, alright, Force Commander's gonna go down again. But he teleported in to go for the Leman Russ. They just might take out... Alright, they do take out the Leman Russ, so that's not bad. Even trading a Force Commander for the Leman Russ is actually not that bad of a trade. But I was going to say, like, if he has the teleporter, you might want to try to actually just teleport in against the Manticores. And if he teleports in, he should be able to teleport to take out at least one Manticore before going down, just from teleporting in. Cataclysm goes down from the Doom of Melantai. I feel the Doom of Melantai getting a little too close, though. Alright, yeah, and he does retreat. So now we have the Hive Tyrant. Here is finally that orbital bombardment. It is targeting, well, it's targeting not a whole lot. It's targeting Ogryns. Alright, it's going to take out one of the heavy turrets. But all the Manticores are still here. One beam does go off on the Baneblade, but that's not really going to be enough. So it's actually a single cap for the blue team. No, 1-to-1 cap where it's just changing while I'm talking. Anyway, we got the Baneblade moving back. I think it's time for someone to move in through the middle, go for these Manticores. We have one rather exposed Manticore, the other's very, very far back. Where are the rest of the units right here? Instead we have, well, Dark Riku is prioritizing the cap, which probably is a smart idea. Hive Tyrant gonna go down, and he does also have the Cyclone missile launcher. So yeah, I think that Cyclone missile launcher, so far I haven't actually seen it used against, Manticores, and again, they haven't really had sight. Here is a Tyrannoformation, which, unfortunately, I don't think that maybe the Tyrannoformation, one Spire does hit the Manticore, but it's not enough to take it out. So meanwhile, we have a second Baneblade, and here's where things get absolutely ridiculous, and I don't know what the blue team is going to do about double Baneblades. Almost just be thankful that Jungle Communications doesn't have a Baneblade. I was going to say, is Jungle Communications going for a Baneblade? Because he nearly had the resources to get one. With how much resources he has at this point, I actually think it might... Oh no, we have Excruciators on top of... Oh god, that wiped out the Terminators. Oh man. So yeah, I mean, I was going to say... And... yeah, I mean, that's really just something that the Inquisitor is really, really good at. Just a huge vulnerability of Terminators, and although I was talking about Terminators being their best chance, it was actually a huge risk all along, really, with the Inquisitor there, but, I mean, it was still, to be honest, one of their best chances. Alright. This is... Even though the VPs are even, this is honestly looking grim for the blue team. Like, if this was Dawn of War 1, with morale, the blue team would be broken. See some long-range plasma cannon shots going in. If anything, those long-range plasma cannon shots might want to be set up in a position so that they get... Wow! Direct shot to the Russ. Takes out a huge chunk of its health. But it should definitely... I feel like almost should be set up to take a shot at the heavy turret. We have a Lictor trying to go for a back cap. Gets knocked off. I don't think he can stay there much longer. Wow, the Plasma Cannon Devastator is actually doing a huge amount of AV damage. Getting a lot of hits on vehicles. Meanwhile, double Carnifexes for Floid. Both of them Venom Cannons. Dark Riku has lost a lot of units. Deuce Bigalow looking like maybe he can do a orbital bombardment soon. But the worst news is that Jungle Communications has enough red to do a... oh no, these Terminators. Another squad of Terminators got... Oh no, they didn't get wiped. Just very close to it. But Jungle Communications has enough red to do a rocket run. So we'll see if that's going to happen. Here is the Force Commander. What is he doing? He's derping. Come on, Diomedes. He didn't get anything. I don't know how that happened. But yeah, I mean, Diomedes there, he should be able, if he teleports in, should be able to do a Flesh over Steel and get at least one Manticore. I almost feel like with as much health as Deuce Bigalow has right now, or as much requisition as Deuce Bigalow has right now, he should almost like commit his Force Commander to the purpose of hunting Manticores. Like he should actually teleport in, go for the Manticores, even at the risk of losing his Force Commander, because he has the requisition to buy the Force Commander back. Alright, so he's not doing what I'm saying he should do, though. He is getting a Predator tank, which is, I feel like, almost not that great of a choice. I don't think the Predator tank is going to last very long against this line of double Bane Blades, double Lehman Russes, and a heavy turret. 2 heavy turrets. I mean, this is really like an Imperial Guard defensive formation, and I don't see what they're going to do. We do have the triple Carnifexes from Floid, which I don't think is going to hold up that well against all. I mean, it is going to be his own armored force of that actually does have AV, but I just don't think that's going to be enough. I mean, this Venom Cannon quite expensive, to be honest. Does actually do a decent amount of damage, though. And somehow the VPs have not really moved for like the past 5 minutes. And I mean, we see this attempted... Ooh, Lictor not attempting a back cap. Lictor attempting to Manticore hunt. Lictor or attempting to hunt heavy turrets. And we just see, is that a new heavy turret being placed? Yeah, so he hunted one heavy turret, just placed down a new one. But Lictor being a pretty tanky. Manticore strikes going in all over the place. Lictor's going to go down if he does not retreat it like now. Alright, it's definitely going to go down. So Tier 3 Lictor is down. Oh, and it gets knocked down by, I think, friendly plasma. So, dead Lictor. Dead lots of other things. Probably a dead Carnifex right here. Oh my god. It just keeps going in favor of the red team at this point, to be honest. And I did say early on that just that triple Imperial Guard. Imperial Guard in general, very, very strong team faction. And triple Imperial Guard can be extremely, extremely strong.
Additional armor deployed.
Lara. I feel like that's almost another reason that the Force Commander should be really dedicated to hunting Manticores. Which is that even if he does go down, he can call on Dark Riku to revive his Force Commander with Laraman's Blessing. Plasma Cannon shot goes in. Alright. Close to taking out the Lehman Russ, but no cigar. We see some Cyclone missiles go in, but they spread a lot, so they don't finish off the Lehman Russ. Alright, another Manticore Strike going in. Where is it going in? Going in on the Land Raider Redeemer right here. Land Raider Redeemer, though, should wipe out these Bat-capping Castricans, so rather unfortunate for those Castricans. New Scout Squad for Dark Riku, and Dark Riku does have a lot of resources, so, well, he's just straight up got a lot of resources. The double Baneblade, I don't see, oh, alright, well, game is about to end. It looks like 10 VPs left for the blue team. What are they going to do? Attempted Terminator back cap, but that's just not going to do it. Yeah, this is the game in favor of the red team, the Imperial Guard. So that was brutal. At some point, it really did get to a point where the Imperial Guard just kind of bunkered down, hold down with all of their tanks, their armor, and the artillery, and this Imperial Guard line was pretty much never really broken. Alright, hope you enjoyed the cast. Have a good night.